Good morning. My name is James Spiro, and this is AI 2024. I'm joined now with Orlie Gruper, the general partner at Mobilitech Capital. Orlie, hi.
Hi.
Pleasure to connect with you, and thank you for taking the time today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
I'd like to start, please, by asking a bit about Mobilitech Capital and what you folks do exactly, please, and where you
Sure.
invest.
Yeah, so we're an early stage focused mobility fund. We look at mobility very widely, though. It can be anything from autonomy to electrification to traffic management to vehicles on land, in the air. Today mobility influences insurance. AI is influenced by it. Real estate will be influenced by it as soon as we drive into the autonomous era, but now with electrification. So we see it very widely. We invest up to around between $0.5 to $1.5 million checks. We have two strategic LPs, one of the largest transportation groups here, Dan Transportation, and Semelet, the importer of most of Stellantis brands.
Okay, cool. Thank you. It's very interesting because you're right. The difference between transportation and mobility is that transportation is kind of more vehicle-esque, but mobility is anything moving from anywhere from A to B. So tell me about the role that AI plays in that. I mean, you touched on it briefly just now, but we're at AI 2024. So talk to me about what you're looking for and maybe some of the things that you're seeing here today.
Yeah, so I think AI is affecting in different aspects. One, the way we're developing vehicles today, right? The acceleration of development of software. The vehicle is becoming software defined. So a lot of those softwares are really enhanced by AI capabilities. And also the capabilities of the vehicle itself. If it's object detection, obstacle detection, everything that happens within the cabin about passenger safety. We invested in one AI-based algorithm to manage traffic. So using AI in order to optimize traffic, predict how the traffic is going to behave in 20, 30 minutes, and change the traffic accordingly to mitigate the traffic jam before it even happens. So we're going to see it in a lot of different aspects. And the one I'm most excited about, because it's going to touch really our lives, is the journey experience. So you walk into a vehicle, and then the vehicle will be able to understand you and personalize the journey for you and be really an assistant, a help. I think that today, we have our phones, we manage 95% of our lives with it. With this AI, autonomy, the vehicle as a software platform, we can do so much during that dead time that, it's going to become much more productive.
Yeah, I mean, just as a driver, when I'm driving and I'm stuck at a red light, but there's no one coming anywhere, I'm always thinking, why isn't AI recognizing that it can just turn green and let me go?
Exactly.
So that's definitely a frustration I felt as a driver. And I guess as a passenger, you're right. You can tap your phone as you get into like a taxi, and it knows your Spotify playlists. It would know your air conditioning preferences. You could really personalize everything.
Yeah, even if you're stressed, or you're
which
sad,
I'm familiar with, yeah.
Or you're happy, you know? Or maybe you're nauseated and the vehicle needs to adapt its driving towards you. Maybe you're under the influence at the moment and you shouldn't drive, or the vehicle needs to mitigate the speed or really support you in your journey.
It's super interesting, and there are so many possibilities. Mobility, a bit like healthcare, is in a sense, you can't really get it wrong at all because people's lives are at stake.
Right.
So there
higher standards.
There's way higher standards, way more maybe regulation, and there's a higher barrier to reach. What does that look like for you as an investor? How do you tackle that? How do you tackle that kind of navigation of meet these companies and technologies that need to meet these higher standards first? What does that look like?
You need very strong teams.
Yeah.
To make sure they're doing everything right. And make sure you bring early on really advisors from the industry so you maybe don't make as much mistakes. As a startup, of course, you're going to make mistakes. The question is if the team can, after falling down, get up, brush off their knees and continue running.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Orlie, thank you so much for taking the time today. It's been super
you.
interesting, and I look forward to meeting with you again in AI 2025. Maybe I'll take an autonomous taxi to get to you, or to get to here. But yeah, until then, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.